And again,
Yeah.
like a child at play, oh, I wish we could stay
Once again, yeah.
all in together. Working.
What did you just say?
I can't remember.
Hey there, welcome to Oaks Insider, where we are helping people build and drive culture in the local church and their everyday lives.
Yep.
Good job being back here again.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, hey,
I love this.
I know I do too, and you've been doing a little bit of traveling here recently. You're here on Sundays,
I'm so
but
glad.
during
I'm
the
so
week
glad
you've
to
been
be
gone a
home.
little
I'm
bit.
telling you, it's been amazing, but I'm just glad to be back. In the office.
But what's cool about it is while you're out and about, you're
Yeah.
impacting people's lives, but I think it's not just that you're impacting people, you're having your life impacted.
Yeah, I think a lot. I mean, especially these trips I've been on with John Maxwell, coming back and then talking to you guys about things I'm learning, things. Sometimes it's more caught than taught. So it's not just like, oh, you're taking some good notes on all the things he's teaching.
Right.
Well, it is that, but it's not just that. It's the things I'm watching him do. Can I just talk about?
I want you to. That's why we're doing this, because you've been really sharing
we've
some
been talking
powerful
about it.
stuff in our staff meetings and in our one-on-ones and stuff. And I think it's really important for the rest of the team here, the Oaks Insiders, to know what's happening.
Insiders, I want to talk to you just a minute about probably my biggest takeaway out of a lot of different things has been when talking about this adding value to people. I mean, one of the things I find about John is everywhere we go, he adds value. He's always giving and helping all this. And he does a teaching, so I'm going to tell you the 5 things that he says we all need to do about adding value, to people. But then off of it, I'm going to tell you things that I watched him do.
Right.
Cool?
Yeah.
Okay, the first thing he says is you got to just wake up every day and choose to add value. It's a choice of your life.
Yeah.
So one of the things I think is really cool is, how think of it being John. Everywhere we went, people would go, hey, can I get a picture with you? Can I get, and he'd go, absolutely, absolutely. But there were many, many times that he would be with someone and he would go, hey, can I get a picture with you? He would initiate it, say,
Right.
oh, Mike, hey, get my camera. I want a picture with him. I want to remember this moment. And just the way he turned it, it wasn't just about, it's one thing to say, sure, I'll let you take a picture with me. No, he was going, no, can I have a picture with you?
Yeah, and so what's really cool is you shared that with us
Yeah.
a number of weeks ago, but it has shifted even the way that I think about the whole picture taking thing. And it's not like I have a whole bunch of people trying to take my picture, but periodically, well, no, not like you. But even just the other day, look, we were at the church the other day, and a family that has been here for a while, they said, hey, could we do a picture? But I'm thinking, man, I don't want to just have them take a picture of me. Hey, look, we're here with Pastor Mark. No, I want that picture. I want to be a part of that journey. And hearing that story has totally changed even how I'm doing that whole idea of value. Because I really value those people.
It's a really cool deal. So that's a choice. That's just like he's already thought that up. So it isn't like every day, I'll think, okay, I'll do the picture thing now. He just does it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him do it at least 15 times a day.
Because he chooses every day to add value.
Chooses. And just one of the times when he did, he looked at me and he goes, hey, big deal. Flipping it where it isn't, yeah, I'll do a picture with you, but you say, you do a picture with me.
I know, it's so great.
It was here. I go, God, that's so huge. Second thing he says is don't just choose to do it, but think of ways. So now you're always looking for the opportunities. If you're thinking and living intentionally, I want to add value to people to make a difference. So he thinks of a way to do it. Now, one of the things he thinks about is his wife. And a lot of times Margaret's not on the trips with him. Like on the trips we were on, only one time were we together with her.
Yeah.
All the other times, they were away. And so one day I noticed that for a couple of days he has this little sheet of paper like this that he has in his pocket, and he'll pull it out, write something on it, and put it back in. So after about the 3rd day, I just said, what's that thing in your pocket? What do you keep pulling out? He says, oh, that's my list. List of what? All the things that are happening. I said, well, why are you writing that out? He said, because tonight I'm going to talk to Margaret, my wife.
Right.
And I know that in marriage, you're either growing together or you're growing apart. And so today she's having things she's doing and I'm doing things that I'm doing, but tonight we're going to relive them together. So I'm going to relive the day with her,
right.
And she's going to relive the day with me. And sometimes we'll just go, skip it. And we say, no, we can't skip it because then I don't want to skip a day with you.
Think how simple of a deal that is, but how profound it is. And I'm even thinking, you know, our task, not really a task, but our hope is that not only are we building and driving culture in the local church, we're doing it to help people in their everyday lives. And think about it. If you have a spouse, what would it look like if you got that little note card and every night you come home to each other and share your life? What would it look like even a student that's off away, at school, or some of our OSL people that are saying, hey man, what would it look like if I started sharing my life with people that I actually value? It's just transformative. I love that idea.
It's huge, and there has to be a consistent intentionality on it. But to think, oh, that's a cool idea, I should do that, it's totally different than you actually.
Because it goes back to you saying, each day you choose.
You choose.
Yeah.
You think, you look for ways. And so you're thinking about ways to do it consistently, but then you look. Looking for ways is kind of like, okay, I didn't see that coming, but I'm going to do it. So one of the things that I saw him do everywhere we went, every hotel, he would look for a way to add value to people who were the maintenance, people who were
people on the front lines,
people cleaning the
operating
room.
And stuff.
I mean, he would know them by name. That he would just give them a little gift or a little tip to the side. That wasn't even like they were helping him. He just said, "Thanks for what you do." Wow. And he would just be looking for ways all the time. And it was funny because one of the things that he said to me just a few weeks ago is he goes, "Hey, let me tell you something. You see how you always take care of people and you always pay attention to people, and there's nobody too small. Those people working their tail off. You honor them and you love them." And he said, "You never know who is who." And he goes, he said this last year, he said, for years I've been wanting to go to listen to the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Like he loves that kind of choral music like that. He wanted to go to the Christmas concert. He says, guess what? I have front row seats this year. Me, my wife, and my kids, front row. And they even have like a lifetime member, because once you're like 40 or something, you have to get out. I don't know what the real rule is, but there's like a rule because there's so many people coming in.
Right.
And so he says, I'm sitting where all the lifetime Mormons sit. You get to hear this. You know how? Because the stagehand at two of the conferences I've spoken at, I got to be friends with her, and she just says she does all these different shows. And he said, man, you know what show I'd like to be? I've never been able to get the ticket. And she goes, I got you.
Wow. Yep.
And he said, that just comes from being, and he said, I'm not doing it for that, but that's just what happens.
Yeah.
You just look for ways to add value to people. Man, that was just huge, Then half the time, do you understand that they didn't even know who he was? They didn't know he was John Maxwell.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was just somebody who was
someone
adding
that's
value.
Being kind, adding value. Yep.
So you choose to do it. You think about ways to do it. You look for ways to do it, and then you just do it. Just your whole life is about adding value. Listen to this. One of the times when we were in Costa Rica, he had 250 of what they call the JMT, the John Maxwell team of coaches, that are doing coaching and stuff all around the place. And he let them do a mission trip deal. He had them sign. He said, hey guys, if you want to go to Costa Rica with me on a missions trip and help me train people in these round tables, you can go on a mission trip. Within 20 minutes, 250 people had already signed up and paid to do the missions trip to go for a week. And they trained 15,000 people.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In 4 days.
I love it.
Crazy, okay? So when they were there, he just looked for ways all the time to add value to them. So one day we were going down from one big event to another one, and he found out that 10 miles out of the way was where all the 250 coaches were going to be having lunch at a church, and this pastor, local pastor, was
hosting them.
Yeah. John goes, do we got time to stop by? They said, well, it's really kind of 10 minutes out of the way. So what? Let's do it. We'll go surprise him.
Right.
That would be awesome. Let's surprise him. And he goes, hey gang. That's what he always says, his words, gang, like, hey gang, we're going to go surprise some people, okay? We're going to go add value. Y'all just sit back and relax, right? And so we're like, we don't know what's going on. But man, when we drove up and that pastor, I'm getting teary. I mean, he came out and he was like floored that John and the team stopped. He took pictures with everybody. He said, get your cameras out, everybody. I want to take a picture with these guys. And we took pictures. He had value. He just thanked him. He thanked that pastor. He had a book with him. He signed it specially to him. Thank you for honoring our team. I mean, he was just always doing things every time he turned around.
And he would be quick to say he didn't figure that out. That's his relationship with the Lord that precipitated that. And I was even thinking of the story where Jesus says, hey, you guys know the head honchos around here, how they lord over you guys and lord their authority. He said, not so with you. Hey, man, if you want to be the greatest, then just serve everybody. Yeah. And all that means is finding ways to add value to people and honor them. I love that.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And one of the other things, I don't know if I told you this part, but at the end, he threw a big party at the end. 3 of the trips I've been on, he throws a big party at the end. Like this one had full-on fireworks, had like the
I think I did see you dancing,
and they're having these big like bands there, you know, and all this stuff, right? And food, incredible food. He went to every single table and thanked every single person before he got his own food. Everybody else went first, and he thanked them all. And then he went out and he said, "Watch this. I'm gonna go have fun with them." And so he goes, "I want you to remember this, Scott. People care more not just about what you do for them, but if you'll do stuff with them."
Yeah.
So I don't throw a party for them. I party with them. And he got out there, and he just got out on the dance floor. It's kind of just funny, old man dancing, you know, like this.
Kind of like your dance.
Kind of like, yeah. Kind of like, but I just think that's huge. He said, "I want to add value," and it's amazing. So the last thing he did is he said, "Every day I look for ways to encourage others to add value."
So
which is
make
basically,
disciples.
yeah. He said the whole reason why he's giving me the little side note, hey, this is what I'm about to do, is because he didn't want to just do it. He wanted me to learn how to do it.
Because he's not going to be here forever. Yeah. So if he's not discipling other people and growing people to do it, then it ends with him.
So like the most exciting thing in my heart is I wonder what it'd look like if every one of the insiders in our church started thinking every day, how can I add value? You're thinking about it. You're choosing to do it. You're looking for ways to do it. You're doing things that add value every time you turn around. And then you're encouraging your family and everybody in your influence to do it. And that would be that we could be the church, like Jesus said, church that loves.
Absolutely. Hey, I love this. I love what God's doing in and through us and through you guys. Thanks for joining us today. And we're going to continue the conversation. So we'll see you next time right here on the Oaks Insider.
Thanks so much for joining us today for Oaks Insider. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it. Stop right now and do it on YouTube or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Play. Subscribe so you can get this easily every single week. And if you're not following us, at Oaks Church TX, that's for Texas, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Again, thanks for joining us.